Hello everybody, so this is the progress time lapse of one of the pages in my newest comic. This is the progress shot for the 5th page of Snow Lake / My Favorite Day in February. I am terrible with the names, so either one works. Basically, I wanted to show this to show like my thought process and how I go about just experimenting and seeing what works and what doesn't. You're gonna see a lot of me going back and deciding for and against certain things throughout the majority of the video, especially with the cave walls. I think I try like 3 different things in order to actually get my chosen look for the cave. This is around my second option, trying to replicate just frozen water really, and then my third option, which is what I'm doing right now, more goes with what I think would have happened when the cave was first being frozen, like how the water would have looked when it froze in the first place. And this is the one I ended up going with because it looks really nice. And then afterwards, ended up shading and shading again and just going back and forth, seeing what sticks. Very cool, very casual-like. Totally know what I'm doing. And then I move on to completing the creatures in this world, and finally myself taking a very back to front approach, mostly to get the colors correct so I don't pick any colors at the beginning that end up not really working with the final product. And then there I am doing some making the caves very imperfect, because nature is imperfect and that's why we love it so much. And then it's at this point when I start on the actual creatures of this world. I'm gonna be honest, I kept calling them the Alaskan bullworms because that is essentially what they are. I didn't know what kind of creatures to put in this world, but I didn't really want it to distract too much from the main comic since it was only like 7 pages long. So I thought, Alaska's cold, and Alaskan bullworm, why not? So I do a lot of work just trying to make the worms all nice and wiggly. That's a terrible word to say. And then I just get to work shading those bad boys, utilizing the colors already present in the palette and used throughout the comic in order to really just make them fit in the world. And then I'm blending together the shades and stuff to make sure, yeah, everything looks good, everything blends together, everything fits nicely, and it's not obvious that I'm using 30 different layers for this project. All right. So here's around when I get to work on myself, just after like doing some final touch-ups on the sketch there, fixing that all up. I'm really experimenting to really see what skin tone looks right and just starting to draw myself in. I start with inking just because that's just what makes sense to me the most, but I do later go in and actually color over those inking, color over all the inking that I did to make it the same color as what I end up using as the color for the character of myself. Fun fact, actually, I was going to, as I'm drawing in the camera, I'm going to explain this little fun fact here. I was going to have myself holding the camera throughout the entire time that I was falling through this little cave world. But I decided at probably the last minute that I actually want to love myself this year by not drawing a hand holding a camera at different angles for different times. So here is when I'm actually dropping the camera and it appears again at the end of the comic completely unharmed, because not even I am that cruel. But in any case, all of this was made with, all of these colors were essentially different shades of blues and purples, more in keeping with the theme of everything else, because like even with the skin tone, I think I end up using like a purplish color, because otherwise it would have looked just a little bit too strange in this world if it was like the regular peachy orange that I normally go with. But I don't actually, yeah, I ended up using. Yeah, I thought like throughout the time it looked like a little bit too icy, but now that I'm looking at it now, it looks fine. It all looks fine. Everything looks fine. So yeah, after this, I will pretty much be done with this page. So if you like this video and you want to read the full comic, it's going to be available in the description of this video. And yeah, let me know what you think. Comment and like and all of that if you so choose, and until next time, bye.